Here's Mitchell. I think that's a 2. Doesn't go. And now it's McBride getting Hull.
Yeah, that one might be a problem.
Indiana just taking shots to the face.
The Indiana Fever limped into Minnesota looking less like a basketball team and more like a patch job barely holding together. 5 players already sidelined, rotations in shambles, and every trip down the floor feeling like a survival drill. Caitlin Clark, still out, nursing that stubborn groin injury. Sophie Cunningham, done for the season. Chloe BBY, Sydney Coulson, Ari McDonald, all unavailable. And then there was Odyssey Sims, suiting up on one good leg because the roster was that thin, and because the fight meant that much, but the reward for all that grit. A gut punch straight out of the rulebook's worst nightmares. Lexie Hull takes a clean elbow from Kayla McBride, crashes to the hardwood clutching her face, and somehow she gets whistled for the foul. The arena's energy spiked instantly. You didn't need a MIC to hear Caitlin Clark, watching from the sidelines, seething, asking the same question burning in every Fever fan's mind. How does this keep happening? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Why do you think the refs keep swallowing the whistle against the Fever? Let's hear it.
And Hull is checking her jaw.
Let's see that one again. Kayla McBride goes up, grabs the board, and she wants to get free because Hull has her kind of wrapped, and boy, that's a hard swing. They're going to review it.
Context matters. Indiana didn't just walk into this game shorthand. They showed up gutted. Clark has been sidelined for over a month. Sophie Cunningham's year derailed by injury. Chloe BBY's knee barking. Sydney Coulson lost to an ACL tear. Ari McDonald shut down with a foot issue. That's an entire starting lineup wiped out before the opening tip. Enter Odyssey Sims, signed on a hardship contract. The backup to the backup to the backup at point guard, pulled straight from the rehab table into live fire because there simply wasn't another option. This isn't load management. It isn't bad scheduling. This is survival basketball. And survival has a price. Every drive demands more energy than the body wants to give. Every defensive rotation lands a half step late because these lineups have never shared a floor. And every mistake, no matter how small, feels magnified under the playoff race microscope.
The Indiana Fever's injury bug is getting into spooky territory. It seems like there's a new player every single day that's getting injured. Right now they have Caitlin Clark out, not sure if she will be returning this season. Sid Coulson out with a season-ending ACL tear. Ari McDonald out with a season-ending fracture in her foot. Sophie Cunningham out with a season-ending MCL tear. And then just today, before the game, they announced that Chloe Bibby would be out with a knee injury, and basically they just said it's soreness and they're just playing it.
Injuries don't just take away talent. They unravel the entire structure. For Indiana, the guard and wing depth evaporated almost overnight, forcing Lexie Hull and Kelsey Mitchell to morph from scorers and stoppers into iron-willed workhorses. Just 2 nights earlier, also against Minnesota, Hull logged a career-high 37 minutes and dropped 23 points. Not as a luxury spark, but because there was no lifeline, no substitution waiting at the scorer's table to let her breathe. She delivered because she had no choice. And now, here she was again, thrown straight back into the fire. That's the unforgiving reality of this stretch. The Fever aren't just playing basketball. They are buying minutes against exhaustion, gambling energy for survival.
Did you come into tonight kind of expecting to play, start near the whole game, just with the injury situation and the personnel available?
Damn, you played 37 minutes.
I mean, you played a lot too, Kels. What did you play? 35. I mean, yeah, we're down people, so gotta suck it up, play a little tired a few minutes, and take in those timeouts as best we can. But yeah, I mean, we're down people, so everyone's got to do a little.
The patchwork fixes say it all. Shop Petty arrived midweek and was immediately thrown into rotation minutes. Odyssey Sims, still clearly not at full strength, was forced to run possessions anyway. Aerial Powers, signed late, didn't get a warm-up period. She was tossed straight into heavy minutes without time to build chemistry or trust. That's not plug-and-play basketball. That's duct tape and desperation. And in that chaos, rhythm is almost impossible. You can't establish flow when you're still introducing yourself in huddles and learning teammates' tendencies on the fly. Opponents like the Lynx don't need the crash course. They just attack the seams, poke at the gaps, and exploit every mismatch until it breaks.
Had 3 players in the last, I don't know how many days, and 2 of those players are point guards, so not really. But, you know, at the same time, our ability to to make plays out of what we have, right? I think a lot of our spacing allows players to do what they do best, creates opportunities for them to be successful, and then it's just making the right reads and finding the right pass, on time, on target. And some of that is with experience with your teammates, and some of that is instinct. And so we are trying to do as much as we can to put players in position to use those instincts.
Credit where it's due. Kelsey Mitchell never blinked. She carved through traps, created space out of thin air, and stacked up 26 points with the kind of shot-making that declares, "If I have to carry us, I will." But the math of a short-handed roster is merciless. When the lineup around you is stitched together by necessity, even star-level brilliance runs into a ceiling. Head coach Stephanie White called the night physical. That's generous. This wasn't just physical. It was a trench fight waged with a skeleton crew. And even then, Indiana kept swinging.
Fever are going to end the season with a completely different team than what they started the season with. And even the players that they're bringing in on hardship or that they're signing midway through the season, they're now going down with injuries. The season from hell would be an understatement on this team.
Which is why the officiating meltdown felt like gasoline on an open flame. Here's the sequence. Hull is locked in, defending with her usual controlled edge. McBride swings through. Her elbow connects square across Hull's face. Head contact. Defender down. The crowd winces. It's textbook material for a whistle, a review, and accountability. Instead, the officials hit Hull with the foul. The player who took the elbow was the one punished for it. Shock rippled across the Fever bench. And Hull herself. You could see the shift in real time, anger sharpening into laser focus. Jaw clenched, eyes narrowed, that cold expression that says, enough.